Coalition of Land Associations, media statement by the people of La on the Kaajaanor Land incident. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the people of La wish to bring to the attention of the general public and relevant authorities a disturbing development that has been ongoing since 11th April 2026. On the morning of 11th April, residents of La received multiple distress calls from within the surrounding communities, reporting that a group of armed individuals, accompanied by dozens of police officers, had forcibly invaded portions of the land located in the southwestern part of La, specifically at an area known as Kaajaanor, which falls within the geographical boundaries of the La traditional area. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, subsequent checks have revealed that the group was led by one Clemens Jato, a person widely known for his involvement in land-related dealings. For the record, the land in question forms part of what is historically known as the coconut plantation. The acquisition process of this land commenced in 1897 by the colonial administration at a time when ownership was under litigation between the people of Labadi, now La, and Christianburg, now Osu. This process was conclusively settled in 1902, following a judgment delivered by William Bradford Griffith, then Chief Justice of the Gold Coast. In his judgment, Justice Griffith clearly established that the land in dispute, considering the evidence produced in court, was any man's land, that is, a no man's land, hence a midpoint between Obenesu and the Clote streams, which served as boundaries for La and Osu, respectively, at the time, should serve as the new boundary. This boundary has remained recognized and respected between two towns until recent developments. Notably, in 1948, while dealing with a similar judgment concerning disputed ownership of land between the Osu and La people around the Tiashijo and Remanhome area, Jackson, the judge, reiterated the views expressed by Justice Griffith, reinforcing the established boundary position. Despite this long-established demarcation, certain elements within the Osu community have persistently harassed individuals from La, as well as lawful guarantees of La land, whenever they attempt to develop their properties. These individuals have also falsely and fraudulently misrepresented themselves as the legitimate owners of the said lands and try to alienate portions of land belonging to La in a manner that smells of criminality. These provocations from our neighbors have extended beyond Kaajaanor to areas such as Laboni, cantonments, airports, and beyond. And this is gradually creating anger among our youth. But for the several timely interventions from our traditional authorities, there would have been several violent confrontations by now. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, it is important to emphasize that the people of La have historically shared boundaries with the neighboring communities, dating back to the formation of those communities, including Osu, a fact well documented in historical literature, and this would be addressed subsequently at an appropriate forum. Nonetheless, while the people of La remain peace-loving, we will not take continual provocations for granted and will act decisively when necessary. With specific reference to the events of 11th April to date, we wish to state unequivocally that the chiefs of La have not granted any portion of the said land to Clemens Jato, nor are they aware of any proposed development on that land. We further condemn in the strongest terms the demolition exercise carried out by these land guards, which has led to the displacement of hundreds of residents, the majority of whom are women and children. This action is unlawful and must be condemned by all well-meaning Ghanaians. We commend the chiefs and leaders of La, including youth groups, as well as the La Dadekotopon Municipal Assembly, for their swift intervention to alleviate the plight of affected persons. We acknowledge and appreciate the support of the President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, Ne Odaifio Welenchi III of Nonghua, for calling on the La Traditional Council to show solidarity during this difficult period. We also notice the presence of Ne Takita Kotru II, the chief of Gamashi, on the day the chiefs of La visited the site on familiarization tour. However, it appeared his entourage did not follow the necessary protocols of tradition as he had not pre-informed the chief of La before his visit to their land, and also they did not accord our leaders the necessary pleasantries. Could it mean his team was simply taking a one-sided approach? Let it be noted once again that all lands in South La, extending to the demolished fisheries stretches, remain the property of the people of La, which were ceded to the government for public use. Hence, these lands ought to revert to the pre-acquisition alluvial owners in times like this. Much as we, the people of La, recognize the shared interest, we want to call on our brothers from Osu to respect the established legal position that the land in question falls within the territory of La, as clearly determined by the judgment of William Branford Griffith, Chief Justice. This position is further reiterated by a letter from the Lands Commission dated 14th April 2026, just 3 days after the demolition exercise, captioned Notice of Recovery and Repossession of State Lands in Osu and La, Accra, and signed by Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, addressed to MCs and MPs of South La and Osu. The very caption of this letter expressly acknowledges that the land in question falls within both La and Osu. Considering the legally established midline between Obenesu and Clotte streams as a boundary for the two towns, we from La maintain, and evidently so, that the larger portion of the land acquired for the coconut plantation lies within La territory. Consequently, the Lands Commission, and by extension, the government, must act fairly, decisively, and appropriately in its engagements with the chiefs of La in situations like what we find ourselves in today. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we wish to emphasize that our doors remain open. Should our brothers from Osu recognize these foregoing facts, we are willing to unite with them in the spirit of cooperation for stronger and more effective negotiations with government in mutual interest of both communities. We therefore call on all developers and interested parties to desist from any activities on the said land until proper engagement and lawful arrangements have been concluded between the people of La Osu, the government, and all legitimate stakeholders. Thank you very much.